Easy breezy, beautiful cover
Yeah,
girl.
cover girl. Yeah. It says the content of this meeting is being sent to a third party. Okay.
Cover girl.
Yeah. You're behind still, man.
I'm still getting that delay, man.
It's weird.
Me and Greg, I hear him just in real time.
Hmm.
We
Dude,
can.
I don't know what the fuck's going on. Still getting that delay, man. Weird.
It's something on your end, dude. It ain't. I'm good. Fix my hair there.
I can see me chewing on my fingers on YouTube.
Is the YouTube running?
Yeah, it's up now. But that's
God,
what's weird. I don't understand why he's on delay
I
when
don't understand it either.
I mean it's a good like 20 seconds or more.
Yeah, it is like 20 seconds, man.
Well, that's the delay on YouTube you're getting. So you're somehow getting stuff off of YouTube.
That time I saw his mouth move and didn't hear
Right? Yeah, I'm just gonna keep drinking here.
him. My drink's really good. Tastes like iced coffee, so it'll probably be gone here shortly.
Yeah, it will be. Well,
It's
Brett,
uh,
now he says something YouTube came up automatically. Okay. So we're having to communicate with Brett through the chat on YouTube.
well, that's not gonna work.
This is funny.
I wonder what happened because it worked so well last time.
It worked perfect last time. We don't even have anybody in the chat room, I guess, because we keep going in and out.
Well, I can't even find the damn chat room. So
I've got it, yeah, but I've got it on my big Mac. I've got the Zoom on top of the chat room, and then somebody's on.
it's probably me.
No, Michael McNeely. Hello, Michael. We're having issues with our host Brett. We don't know what happened to him or where he went. He gone.
I mean, he's here. He just can't
He's
talk.
he can't talk. No Brett talk. He just
Seriously,
sit.
what the
He's
fuck?
just sitting
What?
there staring into space, looking confused.
Poor guy. He's stressing the fuck out right now
Now he's
too.
gone. We got the Evil Never Dies logo up. I guess we're just gonna do the show without him.
He's just flipped us off. I'm looking over here and not looking over here, and I just saw him flip us off over there, and then I look over here, he's gone. So I
Well,
don't know what's going on.
dude, yeah, you're the one not talking, Brett. So we're gonna have to just move on without you, I guess. Yeah, exactly. Well,
Well,
now he's back.
oh, flipped off again.
This is all like an episode of the new Twilight Zone.
It's like fucking Seinfeld.
It's like something,
George can't figure out how to use technology.
right? I don't know. All Brett does is
See, I can see the chat on here, but I can't see it on there. How
I've
weird
got
is
it
that?
pulled up on but I've got my Big Mac going,
I
so
know it's just stop saying Big Mac. I'm hungry.
well I have He says, send something to you. I only have Messenger on my Mac. Well, you're here, so there's nothing to send. But no, I have my iPad, I got my phone, and I got my iMac, so that's why I call this the Big Mac. Here, you get on YouTube and see if you can see us. No, we need you to test it for real. I'm not joking. I'm not playing this time.
We're going full dumb.
We're going full dumb, yes. Not half dumb, full dumb.
Full dumb.
And Brett's still just sitting there staring into space.
I feel like Brett heard that part.
I
Brett.
don't know.
If you hear us.
Yeah. There it is.
Oh, I can read his lips. He says, I can hear you.
Well, we can't hear you. And yeah, we're on. See, there's her iPad showing it. See if you can chat. But he's not talking.
Well, and it doesn't even look delayed anymore. It looks like he's hearing us in real time.
Well, I can't hear him. Here, turn that down. It'll feedback.
Oh, excuse me.
Well,
welcome to the live chat. Remember to guard your privacy.
yeah.
Guard my privates. Got it.
Well, I guess, should we just continue on without Brett here or what?
He says, just keep going. It looks like I'm trying to read his lips.
Okay.
Well, Brett, keep trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
All right, Carl. Take it away. It's your show.
All right. I'm Carl Todd. I'm the host of this Broken Evil Talk Live. And I'm joined with Greg.
Hey, I'm Greg. Grave. What? Now it's recording.
What the hell's he doing?
Now it's
As I
recording.
intro the show, this is a cluster of shit in hell.
Nicole, yes, we can see your chat.
Yeah, I
yes,
see
we
you.
can. Hello.
I
welcome.
see you, Nick.
Welcome to the clusterfuck.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Ugh.
So,
this is the Evil Never Dies podcast, and I'm Brett, and this is Carl.
yeah. What's up, Brett? So, now the big talk of the week is this whole Black Sabbath farewell / Ozzy farewell. The way this has been presented as, it's going to be Black Sabbath's final show, as well as the Ozzy Osbourne solo band opening for Black Sabbath's final show. And everybody's like, how is this going to happen? Ozzy was just at the was it the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and he couldn't do anything on stage. He just was there. So like, if he Eddie Trunk, who sometimes I like and sometimes I don't like, brought up a good point. He's like, if Ozzy couldn't perform in an event like that where it's, you know, sort of scripted, how is he going to be able to do an entire show?
I mean, to be fair, all his shows are all scripted anyway. As far as even the farewell show would be scripted down to a minute. There's not gonna he's not gonna spend any extra time on stage doing anything extra.
Now,
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Fucking thank God,
Yes.
for Christ's sake.
It was kind of peaceful though, with just
It
me
was
and
sort of
Carl.
peaceful.
Ah, fuck
But
you
no,
guys.
here's what I was getting at. Ozzy just recently said that he ain't plan on doing anything with no set with Black Sabbath.
I don't
I'm
see
like-
how he could do a set with the Ozzy solo and Black Sabbath. I don't see how he can get through a whole set of
I don't
one,
see.
let alone
Yeah, well,
two.
he's saying he's not going to do a set with Black Sabbath now. So I don't know if he's going to do Ozzy solo and they're going to have somebody else come up and sing with Sabbath. I mean,
Yeah, I heard it was gonna be what's his name from Guns N' Roses.
Axl Rose,
Yes,
he can't
Wow.
sing Black Sabbath songs.
He can't sing Guns N' Roses songs.
can't sing AC/DC either. Remember they had him sing for.
Well, actually, he
AC/DC?
sounded better AC/DC than he did in Guns N' Roses.
I don't.
I'm not
Yeah, that's-
saying that's a compliment. I'm not
No.
saying that's a compliment. But I mean, you know, apparently Judas Priest is performing on the exact same night in Germany. That's why they're not going to be there. KK Downing's going to be there, but Rob Halford has actually sung for Judas Priest before in the past.
For Sabbath, you mean?
For Sabbath, yeah. Sorry, I'm still
Yep.
confused from Brett's clusterfucking. So, I mean, I've seen the names on the thing, and there's really nobody on there that looks like they would really be a Black Sabbath type singer. I mean, I don't know. Axl Rose certainly not.
I would almost remember back in the '90s when they did that Queen tribute
They
and they had
did,
like
yes.
all
With,
those
yeah,
people come out and sing Queen songs. I would rather see that for Black Sabbath than see one person go up and butcher every Black Sabbath song.
That would be cool.
well, the only two singers they got, or three they have from the past Black Sabbath would be Ian Gillan, who's in Deep Purple and active. Um,
Yeah,
Tony
but
Martin, but does anybody know who Tony Martin is anymore? I don't think that would really be a big sell.
and I don't think Gillen could do
I don't think
the
Gillan
older Black Sabbath.
and Dio's obviously gone. So this is going to be a mess, I'm afraid.
And what about Bill Ward? Is he going to be able to do a whole show?
We don't know.
I'm glad they're bringing him back. I'm glad they invited him back to do it, but is he going to be able to handle it? You know,
I don't know. That's a good question. Ozzy says he's not going to do anything with him. I don't know if he's going to sit there or stand. I guess they're going to put him on those thrones.
Well, they got to prop him up somehow.
They're going to have
He's-
to prop him up. Some,
He's basically a scarecrow. We got to do like
Yeah.
Mick Mars type shit where they just stick him in a coffin and let him play.
true. I mean, they who was it? Who was it that started this whole throne thing?
I have no
Oh.
idea.
was
Dave
it
Grohl?
Ozzy?
I think it was Dave Grohl had broke his foot
Oh yeah.
and did a tour, sitting in a thing, and then
I mean, he was just
Axl
sitting in
hurt
a
his-
chair.
Come out on a throne back in the day.
no, this is like because Axel had broken his foot or leg or something in the middle of the Guns N' Roses reunion, and they didn't want to cancel it, so Dave Grohl sent him that same exact throne, and he did the shows from it.
Oh, no
So-
shit.
I guess Ozzy's going to inherit that, but if he's not going to do anything with Black Sabbath, then I don't know.
Yeah. It's
Maybe
kind of
he'll get up
sad.
and maybe he'll get up and do a one song or something.
Well, he says that he can still sing.
Oh, Ozzy
Maybe
can
he'll-
still sing. Yeah.
Why don't they could get Glenn Hughes to come out? Glenn Hughes is still very active and he can still sing.
Yeah.
He done several albums, with Tony Iommi on his solo stuff. And of course he did the one Sabbath album, but I don't know. I don't know how they're going to pull this off.
I still feel like they should do like the Queen thing and just bring
Yeah.
in Rob Flynn from Machine Head and Randy Bly from Lamb of God and Lejean from Seven Dust and just let these guys that have been so influenced by Black Sabbath coming up. And
That's
a
let
great
them
idea.
sing it.
That would be fucking cool as shit.
Like that's my dream of watching Sabbath. Just don't even have the players. Well, I mean, you could have like
Iommi and Geezer can still do it.
they could still play, but like because that's what they did with the Queen show. Remember, Brian May was still on stage playing the whole time and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I feel like that's a better send off than watching Ozzy struggle through. Even if he's just sitting in the chair, it's not the same. So I don't know. That's just my opinion. I would rather see a tribute than
We even got anybody watching this thing? I can't see nothing. So evidently I can't have YouTube up at the same time. So
There's nobody in the chat room. Somebody's there.
well, Raul's there. Raul, you're supposed to be on here, not in the chat room.
might have to send him an invite.
I'm
Already
looking
did.
at the additional performers that are going to be on this thing, and Jonathan Davis is going to be there from Korn.
Yeah, see, another one that's heavily influenced by Black Sabbath.
Metallica, Slayer, Pantera, Gojira, Alice in Chains, Hailstorm,
Well,
Lamb
fucking
of
Phil
God,
could do a few songs.
Anthrax, and Mastodon.
Pantera used to cover Black Sabbath.
Yeah,
Joey could do some
It
songs.
looks
Yeah.
like they got a side stage too with a bunch of bands. I can't fucking even
Well,
read it.
Hagar's going to be there. I mean, Sammy could get up and do a song, I'm sure.
But wouldn't you rather see that than
Yeah.
For
like,
sure.
I just think that's just a better way of going.
Ghost are going to be on the show.
So Tobias could definitely
Bias
do.
could definitely do.
He could definitely do some Sabbath,
Yeah.
especially some of the weirder, more eccentric
Anthrax?
stuff.
Anthrax. Joey can sing. Joey can do anything.
Joey could do a lot
Joey
of
Belladonna. Yeah, he could do. Yeah,
he could do the Dio era even.
he could. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think they could pull this off if they, just bring the other singers up. Now, as far as Ozzy's solo stuff, as interesting as it is, Jakey Lee is scheduled to be there.
Really?
Rudy Cesar is going to be there. Rudy was in Ozzy during the Randy Rhoads era.
Yep.
Lizzie Hale's going to be there. Lizzie's got up there and sung with people before.
And she's done Black Sabbath before
She
too.
has, yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe this is the plan because
Isn't she singing for Linkin Park now?
No.
That's somebody else. I don't know
Oh.
exactly who. I guess Axel's going to be there, and they'll definitely would probably put him on stage.
Jesus Christ. God bless us.
Metallica's going to be there.
God help
Hetfield.
us all.
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
it's a draw for the outside world, I guess.
I like to hear Hetfield do like Fairies Wear Boots or something. That'd be funny.
So there's plenty of people I think that could pull this off. Now, Ozzy solo, I mean, I don't know. Says Billy Corgan's going to be there. Can Billy Corgan pull anything off?
Smashing
No.
Pumpkins.
No, I'm with you. I'd rather hear Axel than Billy Corgan.
Jesus
And
Christ.
Fred Durst, what the fuck's he going to be doing there?
No, don't let Fred do it either.
Oh, no.
Like Post Malone, I know he's a newer guy.
Dude's got talent, though.
Yeah. He's a local boy, too. He's from
He's from Grapevine, yeah.
Grapevine.
Well, I guess that's what they're going to do. They're just Iommi and Geezer will be up there. So maybe
Well,
Bill Ward can do a couple songs.
I just hope Bill Ward goes out with a bang, man, because he's a fucking awesome drummer. One of them hard hitters like Bonham, you know.
KK Downing's going to be there, but it doesn't say if Ripper Owens will be there. We know Ripper could pull it off. Ripper could do some of the hardcore Sabbath songs.
Yeah.
All right, we might have Raul join in here.
That would be cool.
So that must be what the plans are for this Black Sabbath final performance and the final performance from the Ozzy Osbourne solo band, apparently. Now, I remember once upon a time when Dio was in Black Sabbath and Ozzy invited Black Sabbath to open for Ozzy, and Dio got pissed off and quit the band because he said he didn't think Black Sabbath ought to be opening for Ozzy Osbourne. So,
well, I mean, there were some egos attached to all that.
Definitely. But what I was getting to is that's when Rob Halford came in and did the entire set. So, but Rob won't be available. So,
no, not if they're playing in Germany.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ragul's coming in here.
This is my boy.
Ragul.
I gotta change my name. Like I'm just G Bazzelli. It's weird.
Oh crap! Hold on, I can't hear you.
Oh,
Can't
great.
hear us?
oh no, more no hearing problems.
For fuck's
Okay.
sake.
There we go. I'm sorry. I had my audio all mixed up. My bad, guys.
That's
we
all right.
had-
You missed the entire clusterfuck that was the first 30 minutes of the show.
Well, I was hearing some shit about not really details about the show, but there was talk of either Fred Durst or Post Malone, and I tell you, as far as Sabbath goes, I'd rather hear it come out of Fred Durst's mouth than Post Malone's.
Oh, no.
I would
I'm just-
disagree.
I'm just
Have you
saying.
seen he did a live cover of, I can't remember what song it was. He sounded really good.
Which
like
one?
really good.
Who, Post
I don't-
Malone?
Oh,
Yeah.
the Behind
Yeah.
Blue Eyes.
Like
And
I just can't get behind Post Malone. I
And-
can't do it.
Did you hear T-Pain's cover of Black Sabbath?
I did. That was rad.
Like some of these guys are coming out of nowhere. These people that I have no ambition of listening to whatsoever, and in their normal everyday lives, and they're just dropping these hits, and I'm like, that's really good, and I'm kind of upset that I like it.
Yeah. I see who Ozzy's drummer is going to be for the solo thing. Mike Borden from Faith No More, who was Ozzy's drummer for many years. So
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Ozzy's got an entire band there with Rudy, Jake Ely, and Mike. So the Ozzy band is there. And of course, Zach Wild will be there.
I was gonna say, is Zach
Sure.
gonna be on guitar?
Yeah, it probably
Well,
be
he's playing
Zach
with-
and Jakey Lee.
And he's Pantera is going to be there,
Yeah.
so he's going to be playing for Pantera.
That's what I kept saying. Why is Zach not showing? But then I'm like, oh, I forgot he's in the Facade Black Sabbath, so he'll be there.
You see that video I shared of Bruce Dickinson getting up on stage with Pantera?
No,
I posted it in the group.
I didn't see it.
I didn't either.
You post so
I-
much, I think I lose track of your posting.
I've been terrible about Facebook because I have like so many different things going now. I have like the shows and then my school. I started that school Facebook
Yeah.
thing to try to create exposure for my kids because they're like, that's like the thing, you know, and they need all this social media shit. And I'm like, I'm 42 years old and I'm already doing this for my shows and this is annoying. And now I got to do it for kids too. So,
Yeah, right.
What'd you make to drink tonight, Greg?
Since one of my topics I want to bring up tonight is Wes Craven, so I went with my Never Sleep Again is what I went with tonight.
And a Sammy cup.
It's in a Sammy cup because my Freddie cup was dirty because Jess used that this morning. But this is Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee that you get in like the sheets at the gas station.
Yeah.
And then some Java something from Old Smoky moonshine, some of that grind double espresso liqueur that I got a couple weeks ago that it's become one of my favorite drinks ever, and vanilla vodka.
Mm.
And
My
it's
favorite.
potent, but it tastes just like iced coffee. So 2 of these will probably knock me on my ass, and I'm already halfway through the first one.
Oh shit!
So cheers to you.
Nice.
This might
Cheers.
never sleep again.
I made an evil cherry popper.
Ooh, that sounds good. What is that?
Here I'll show you. Cherry limeade seltzer water or whatever the hell it is, spring water.
Seltzer
And my
water.
Usual.
Absolute lime. I'm guaranteed it's absolute.
Evil cherry popper.
That's pretty
An
good. I
Erie
like that.
cherry pop.
Carl, what are you drinking?
Liquid Death.
No alcohol tonight.
No, I've got Ayla with me. It's her birthday weekend.
Raul's probably
Ah.
drinking Liquid Death as well. That's his go-to.
That's the best shit there is, man. It's better than-
Normally, yeah, I would have a Liquid Death here, but I just got a bottle of water. Also, let me point out the irony of Greg's Never Sleep Again drink, claiming that it'll knock him out.
That is true.
That's
That's
true.
It's remember I don't know, maybe you guys don't, I don't know, but there was always the uppers downers combo. You try to take the combo of the uppers and downers.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I'm doing with the caffeine and the alcohol. So
Yeah.
Trying to even it out.
just trying to do a little upper downer. That's all.
Yeah, just see, he's got a war raging inside of him, and it's just, heads or tails, who wins?
Yeah, we're gonna see if my heart explodes or I pass out. We're gonna see what happens first.
Right. Yeah. So, never sleep again.
Well, I've already done the Hypnosil. If you go back to my TikTok, you'll see that when I covered the original Nightmare on Elm Street, I think it was the very first episode we did. Maybe, I don't remember. On Monsters and the Mosh Pit, I made the Hypnosil drink as my drink. Or no, it wasn't when we did that one. It was when we did Freddy versus Jason, right?
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
I was on that
Yeah,
episode.
because you were on that episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for viewers that don't know, or anyone listening, because this will be posted to the Evil Noted Eyes podcast as well. Raul is my best mate in Utah. I'm in West Virginia. He's in Utah, and it's like a brother from another mother. He's on my secondary show, Sights and Sounds. Headlong and the Monsters is his show, and I just love this guy. So popping the
He
cherry
was
on
on,
Evil
an,
Thanks
he
for
Noted
having
was
me
on
on,
an
man.
evil talk with us before, remember?
No, but I don't
Did-
remember
You didn't
yesterday.
come prepared.
You didn't come
I really screwed the pooch on that one, guys. Sorry about that.
Well,
That's
we're
where I
live tonight,
was.
so you can't fuck it up too bad, I guess.
not any more than you
prepared.
fucked
No,
it up. to
not any
start
more
with.
than you did,
Oh,
Brett.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took all the heat off me already.
It's already, you're good. This is all on Bubba here.
Oh shit.
Oh fuck. Oh, I finally seen that apartment 7A.
I never even knew that existed till you text me the other
It's
day.
brand new.
Well, no wonder I didn't know, I guess.
They only
That's
gave it
the-
like a 3.8 on fucking IMDb, and I thought it was better than that.
That's the prequel to Rosemary's Baby, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I haven't
Oh
seen it,
man,
actually.
I really enjoyed that movie. It was really really good.
I'm gonna have to find it. Where's it
Very
located?
predictable ending, though.
Where does it
Oh,
live,
yeah.
Brett?
What's that?
Where is it living at?
I think it's on maybe Peacock, maybe.
Peacock or
Prime, I
Hulu.
don't know.
It's streaming somewhere.
Yes,
Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus.
Okay.
I was gonna
Paramount
say,
Plus.
I don't think it's on Hulu because I'm on Hulu every day, and I don't remember seeing it on there.
Paramount Plus and Peacock have almost more than anything, honestly.
See,
I enjoy those two more than I do anything else.
I never go to those two for some reason. I probably should because
Well,
they have good stuff. but-
Peacock is Universal, and of course Paramount's Paramount, so you get a lot of the big movies from them.
Yeah,
And
they
then
got
the-
a lot of good stuff.
I agree. And
I'm a-
Peacock's recently added a bunch of classic TV shows, which I still like watching.
I do
Yeah.
too. That's usually what I go to sleep to.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of new stuff, my wife and I went to the movie theater last night. We watched a movie called The Monkey. Have you guys heard of it or seen it?
We've seen the previews of it when
Yes.
we went to go see Nosferatu. Looked pretty crazy.
It did look crazy.
Yeah, so in case anyone didn't know, it's based off of a short story by Stephen King, and they took a lot of liberties with that short story, but it was, oh man, it was a lot of fun. My wife does not like horror movies traditionally, but she really enjoyed this movie, and it's funny, it's atmospheric, it is not violent in the sense of like slasher violent, like mean spirited violence, but
Right.
it's splattery, like uh Final Destination type violence, just
Oh, okay.
body
Cool.
parts flying around.
I almost went today to watch that because we were just kind of having a lazy day around the house, and I got kind of bored, and I was like, "Oh, maybe I'll go see a movie." And then I started watching a show with my wife called Will Trent that she's obsessed with, and I got sucked into it and watched like 3 episodes. So I didn't go.
Oh, well, if you do, let me know what you think, because I really enjoyed it.
I might go tomorrow. I don't have anything planned for this weekend at all. It's kind of a lazy weekend. Jessica has the flu, so
Oh no.
shit. I had it 2 weeks ago, and she avoided it, and then she got it from people at work. And I was like, haha.
That sucks. Well, I hope
Sir-
she feels better soon, man.
Yeah, she's got that. I'll tell you what, man. That flu medicine they give you nowadays, that Terraflu or
Theraflu,
Thermaflu,
yeah.
that shit is
Thermaflu.
awesome. That shit's awesome.
Yeah, as long as you get it in time. If you wait too long, I don't think it helps a lot.
Yeah, it knocked. I was good in like a day. About
Yeah.
a day, I was fine.
It'll
I was
knock it
back to
out.
normal.
Is that a prescription thing, or can you get
It
it over the
is.
counter?
No, it's got to come from the doctor.
Oh, well, that's a shame.
Yeah, they don't like to give it out. It's hard to get.
Well, I think that's what the same thing they give you for COVID too.
There's
Hmm.
something they give for COVID, but I don't know exactly what it is.
I don't know. This stuff was awesome.
They'd
though.
given Lisa a prescription of it, and she never took it. So I've got some in the closet, I guess, if COVID ever rears its head again.
Hold on to it. As soon as you start feeling bad, take that shit because
Just take it.
It was awesome.
But is it a suppository?
No,
Yeah.
and if
no.
it was, you'd been all over it.
Hell yeah, I would.
Right?
Oh my god! It always comes back to your asshole for some reason.
You know the reason.
I do know the reason. Gotta love that cinnamon ring.
Silence
In the
from
words of the
crowd.
great Fred Durst, chocolate starfish.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've adopted cinnamon ring. I just think cinnamon ring is just it's spicy and it's elegant in a way. I don't know. I like it. Chocolate starfish sounds dirty. Cinnamon
Is
ring
this- Is
sounds
this
delicious.
video gonna get taken down?
Absolutely.
What will get taken down? The show?
Yeah,
No.
the YouTube video.
well, if
It's
the
gonna-
screen
yeah.
goes blank, you'll fucking know.
No, Brett's done enough on here already, and it never got took down.
Believe it or not, Brett showed his cinnamon ring once.
He did.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Wow.
too.
while wearing a Bubba mask. A Bubba. What is Bubba's last name now? I was calling Bubba Moxley mask. I guess
Are you
he's
talking about Bubba
Right there.
Sawyer?
Can you see it?
no his Halloween character.
Can you see
Oh.
it? It's right there.
I don't see anything. Now I see it. It's still got those weird ass hair on it.
Oh,
Isn't that creepy?
it is kind of creepy.
Yeah,
which
very
Just
Corey
guess which
Taylor-esque.
tooth is real.
Oh,
I don't.
damn.
I don't
Isn't that
want
fucking
to.
weird?
That's like
One of
weird in
them's
the best
real.
kind of way, though.
True.
Gross.
Yeah, that's the
Gross.
new Bubba Moxley mask.
So that's-
Compliments of Moxley Manor Haunted House. So
I was gonna say,
shout out
from-
to Richard.
From the
Count
haunt, right?
Karabi.
Yep.
Bubba
Well,
Bubba Karabi.
No, that don't even sound right.
Say that fast 10 times.
No, you are not part of the Karabi clan, I'm afraid. Or you'd be a vampire. Or a half vampire, whatever the hell Karabi supposedly is. Oh, talking of vampires, if you haven't seen it yet, which I'm sure everybody has, Nosferatu is now on Peacock.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
I saw that the physical media came out too. I've got a bunch of people on my Facebook that
Yeah,
posting they
it
bought
did.
it. I didn't get to go to the store and get it yet, but
Well,
I
Didn't
will.
didn't they have it on 4K at the thing that when we went that time, Carl?
no, that was something else.
I thought they had already had it out.
No.
did you
I
guys?
did see it at Walmart, at like my local Walmart on
Yeah,
the
it's
shelf
out
right
now,
next to
but-
us. Yeah.
You're thinking of the Terrifier 3, Brett.
That's right.
You mean this right here?
That.
Yeah, that's the exact same
I-
one.
Yeah.
Here's my dilemma with Nosferatu. I bought it on 4K on Vudu as soon as it came out, and it came with the extended cut and all the extras.
Oh,
So,
really?
So
That's
I'm like,
cool.
well, shit. I don't even know that I'm gonna buy the physical copy unless I find it, used at Movie Trading Company or the vintage store somewhere.
Well, see, that leads right into the conversation that I wanted to have tonight
Yes,
about physical media.
they're making it hard now.
So
Let's go into it then.
okay, well, let's get into it because
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm a huge proponent of physical media.
Well,
you guys see,
I am. I've got
I know
movies
you have.
all
I
over the
see-
wall. Yeah,
What do you got? VHSs behind you of Halloween,
that's-
right?
those are Halloween 4Ks actually.
Oh,
from the
are they?
Scream Factory.
Oh, they look like VHSs from me.
They're really cool cases. See, look at these things.
Oh, those are cool.
Yeah. So
Green
Why can't-
Factory does good shit, man.
they do.
And shout out to Justin Bean. I know you're not listening, but if you were, shout out to you for that's our buddy that works at Scream. Well, does a lot of stuff with Scream Factory and Shout Factory. So he does a lot of those special features that you see.
Does he take requests?
We try to get him to do stuff all the time. Feeders 2, Rocktober Blood. What are some of the other ones we've tried, bro?
Oh man, a lot of like 80s cheese movies is what we're
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to get him to do.
Mostly 80s cheese. I think they did do the Prowler though. I do think they did the Prowler.
They've done a
Um,
lot of 80s cheese and a lot of 70s cheese.
The best thing about Justin is he actually digs really deep and goes and finds people that were involved with them.
They do an
and-
excellent job. I'm
and
always
that-
bragging on them.
But that's what I love about physical media is you can get this. You're saying your Nosferatu from Voodoo did come with that stuff, but
It
a lot
came
of
with
times,
everything.
But
And
you-
usually it doesn't. Usually the
That's-
digital copy comes with nothing, which is why I buy the physical media. But now Universal throws everything on the 4K streaming, or the digital, I should say, and the extra extended cut. And I'm like, well, crap,
See, that's great, but if something were to happen and you lose that service somehow, or they just go away, you don't have that anymore.
No, you don't.
You know what
That's
I mean?
why I always buy the physical media normally.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Like even like the DVDs, the
He's gonna buy
Blu-rays.
the
And
Nosferatu. Don't let him shit you.
Well,
I ain't
good.
got it yet.
I
Just
hope
to
he
have it.
does. I hope he does because that's one of my proponents of it is I can't stand the fact of like not having it. Will I
Look what I
buy
got right
something?
here. I got a Scorpions Savage Amusement special edition CD I just got a few weeks ago. So there you
Okay.
go.
Oh,
Well, not all
cool.
of us can waste money on Scorpion CDs.
Easy, cheesy.
Yeah, don't get it. Brett will bite you over the Scorps.
Love the Scorps.
But like even DVDs and stuff, they you can still find a DVD player. But my VHSs, I just absolutely love. There's something about the VHSs I love. If I could find fucking 8mm stuff shot on 8mm, I'd still watch it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was listening to something the other day, and they were talking about laser discs and how you could probably still go buy a laser disc from, people are still working on these things. They're not manufacturing them, but there's people that have
Yeah.
refurbed them and stuff. You
I
can
see
probably buy
laser
one.
disc. I see laser disc at the what do you call it? Goodwill all the time.
Oh, see, I would buy them like immediately, even though
I
I don't
used
have
to
a laser
have
disc
one.
player.
But I finally just got rid of it because I never used it.
Yeah, but that's like
But here's what the regret is. I actually had the talking about Ozzy earlier, the Ultimate Ozzy concert, and it was on Laserdisc, and that thing never came out on DVD, Blu-ray, or 4K. That was the only time it was out. That and VHS.
and it might not ever come out.
It probably won't at this stage.
So the fact that you had that and it's gone now, you may never see that again.
Yeah.
And like I still even think about the CDs I used to get with like remember like some of the magazines they would like come with a CD of like
Oh yeah,
Trustkill Volume 5 takeover.
show CDs.
You know what I mean?
Go to a show and buy people that are
I've
fans,
got one from
demos and
Daryl
stuff.
and Vinny that was a magazine CD. I don't even remember. Well, I've got it over here in my corner, but I don't remember what was even on it. But I kept it.
But that's
You'll never see that again.
You're never going to see that ever again. Like I remember when Hot Topic used to, Raul, you probably remember this, when Hot Topic used to sell CDs.
Yeah, I
And
remember
you'd
that.
go there and there'd be like a Hot Topic, CD of the month type thing, and like you had to buy that, and it was like a compilation of like a bunch of different bands coming up. And like I remember Roadrunner used to put out like a sample of all their people that were on their label.
Yeah, every
Man,
year
do you-
they used to do it every year.
The Roadrunner United albums were fucking amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I still think about that song from Trivium all the time. It was like Matt Hefe and like 3 other different bands that were on it. It was fucking amazing. But anyway, those are the kind of things that I really think that we're gonna get pigeonholed into this nightmare of not being able to find these physical media
Especially
channels
for
to
a
buy
lot of the
from.
older movies, I believe. Like a lot of these
Absolutely.
Hammer films, something like Nosferatu. I doubt the new one. I doubt that's ever going to be unavailable. But some of these Hammer films, if you don't have them on Blu-ray, you probably won't ever see them again at this stage.
Right. When was the last time you saw a Blood of Dracula or Daughter of Darkness type?
The Satanic Rites of Dracula.
Right. Yeah. Like,
Hey, that's next on our list, by the way, Brett.
Yeah.
if you do Daughters of Darkness, then yeah, let me know. Or
Yeah, I'm sure you'd be all in for that one.
Linnea Quigley's horror workout.
What
Totally
was
down
that, Leanna?
Linnea Quigley's horror workout.
Oh, okay,
Tell me you've seen that one before.
yeah. I've seen it. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
because that's like a staple of the '80s. That
Yeah.
I've probably touched myself to it a couple
Yeah,
times.
I'm sure Greg's only ever seen the first 6 minutes of it.
that's all it takes. I
Oh,
can do it.
geez.
I'm done twice in that time too.
Shit, I only got through the first 3.
No, I went twice. So
Yeah, it is a workout video after all. You gotta push yourself.
surprisingly, it's just shoulders and forearms. It's weird.
But you're right on this. You got to get the physical media. I've preached this forever. CDs, Blu-rays, DVD. I'm done with VHS. I gave up on it.
See, I still love my VHS. I have so many VHSs above my head right now, and
I have rebought everything I had on VHS on at least DVD, except for some of the crap I recorded off of TV. And
You know what else about physical media? If it became an apocalyptic situation, you could rig something up because there ain't gonna be no internet to get no streaming bullshit.
There will not
Right.
be. No.
You could rig up a way to play a VCR, a DVD, Blu-ray player.
Yeah, I'll make Raul drive here from Utah, with the last gas he has left, and I'll put him on a stationary bike hooked to a generator that's hooked to my VCR and just whip him with a fucking, whip and say, mush, dog, I want to watch Nightmare on Elm Street.
You had me at whip 'em.
Instead of dangling a carrot, I dangle a tortilla.
You bastard. You know one thing that really breaks my heart about physical media and how like it's becoming a dying medium is the fact that there are like really good movies that go directly to streaming that are like bought, like paid for through these streaming services like Netflix original, Hulu originals, whatever the hell. And most of the time, well, except for Shudder. Shudder's really good about putting their stuff on physical media. But most of the time, especially Netflix really sucks with this. They don't put their stuff on physical media. So if they're on physical media, right? I think they put like season 1 and 2 of Stranger Things on physical media, and those
they
are like
did
really
do
cool
that, and I don't think they've stopped because like the Wednesday show, I was gonna buy that for one of the grandkids. It's not available. So if I cancel Netflix, you can't watch it again.
It's just gone.
Yeah. And like
that's the only thing I don't have. I don't have Netflix. That's the only one I don't have.
For me, like
I got rid of it because
really
anything that I liked that they had like for a series or something, they do 2 seasons and then cancel that shit.
Yeah.
Every time.
Well, see, my
like
current
Fox in
dilemma
that
is
regard.
the whole Disney Plus, because I'm still a Star Wars fan, although I don't really care for the modern Disney shit. But there are certain shows that I like, and I've just recently started buying those on 4K because Disney actually still releases them. So I'm like, okay, I'm not paying for Disney Plus, so I just bought the Obi-Wan Kenobi show that came out on 4K.
Well, to Raul's point, like there are certain directors and stuff that will fight for their IPs. Like we just got Hush from Mike Flanagan finally after what, like almost 20 years. That was
what Hush? No,
wasn't it 2006 or was it 2016?
It was like 2016, dude.
Okay, well sometimes I get numbers confused, Dick. I don't know.
Yeah, numbers are hard. I bet. Yeah.
I do. I put sticks together as a real life job. Don't forget. Okay. So, but he fought for that, and hopefully one day we'll see like the Fall of the House Usher and the Haunting of Bly Manor and those kind of things, Midnight Mass, because those are really quality. Gerald's Game. Are we going to see a Gerald's Game physical media?
I am still upset that I can't own
That
Gerald's
movie
Game
is
on
fucked
physical
up,
media.
by the way.
I love that movie. The degloving scene.
Fucked
Not a lot of things make me cringe in movies, but when she was ripping her hand essentially off with the cuff of like the handcuff, I was like, ah, like I was kind of cringing at the screen,
One of my favorite conversations ever was with Robert Kurtzman and Marcy King when we were talking about, because they did the special effects for Gerald's Game. And that was Marcy's hand that they did that with as a test to show Mike Flanagan. And Marcy says, I still remember the look of it coming off of my hand. And she was like, I knew it was fake, and it still like freaked me out a little bit. I'm like, oh, that's so awesome.
That's rad.
Like that's my dream. But so okay, so you guys are kind of in the same boat as me as physical media.
Definitely. But here's another problem. They are getting so damn expensive to buy the 4Ks.
That's true.
I just bought The Last Voyage of the Demeter from Scream Factory, 4K. It came with 2 posters and 2 slip covers, and I think it was about $40. But I'm like, you know what?
Well, that's worth it with the other added.
I'm getting the
stuff,
posters. I'm getting this. Yeah, so I'm fine with that. But there'll be other movies, especially older movies that I've already got on Blu-ray. I'm not going to pay $40 for the 4K.
Yeah,
so they're sort of stabbing themselves in the throat.
I'm a little selective. Like if it's something that they're really adding value to, then I'll pull the trigger on it. Or if it's one of my most beloved movies or something.
Same with me. Like right now, Trick or Treat, the Sammy movie, it just I think Arrow just put out a 4K, and I'm probably gonna pick that up, but it's $40.
Yeah.
And I'm
You
like,
know, Carl, to your point, that 4K of Halloween you showed us, like, how much did you pay for that?
about I don't remember now, but I think I got them when it first came out. It might have came in a set from Scream Factory.
Because when I was looking at getting them, they were $35 a pop. So I was going to spend over $100
Yeah.
on a set of movies that I already have.
That
And,
includes
like,
Halloween 5 and 6.
And but I couldn't justify that though.
I couldn't justify it either.
That's the thing with the physical media. You know, if we say, okay, we like this, but we don't buy it, what is that going to tell the studio? Well, they're not buying this shit, so maybe we should just stop putting it out. So it's a real sticky situation.
It is.
That's one reason I got the Last Voyage of Demeter, because it's not the best movie, but I really like the poster, and I'm gonna actually hang it up on the wall. I'm gonna make room for it. But this
Universal
Nosferatu,
really still just started putting their stuff out on 4K more now. They never used to put shit out on, you know.
well, Universal ported them over to the Scream Factory most of the time. That was sort of there, but it's really a hard situation to deal with especially with the 4Ks, because they're so darn expensive. But you know, if we don't buy them, they're gonna quit making them. So it's sort of up to us to really be picky, and gonna have to buy some of this stuff, or they're not gonna be available anymore.
I mean, little by little, these major retailers are already like
just
done
about
with
everybody.
physical media.
You know,
Yeah,
Best Buy
Target doesn't
killed it
sell movies
completely
anymore.
off.
Best Buy, yeah.
Yeah, Target's
My
done.
Walmart still sells movies, and when
Walmart
they're
still
done,
does.
when they're done like selling movies, I think I'm just gonna cry in my basement.
What are they going to
for
do
a
with all
full
that
day.
space then?
They find
Sell
space.
dog food?
Yeah, dog food's very
They
high
find
margin.
They're
space.
going to sell eggs. They're gonna
Well,
put that
in
the
places
egg
like
section.
Walmart, space
Well, they're gonna have to
is-
find eggs before they sell.
right?
They'll
But
be
in
behind a
places like
locked cabinet.
Walmart, space is important. So if they dedicate an area to movies, that's something they could sell elsewhere. But so far, Walmart stood true. They're actually the ones that are kind of keeping the steel books alive that Best Buy used to. You know, that was their thing.
I think
Oh, I saw a beautiful steelbook of
These
John
are both
Carpenter's
from-
They Live.
both from Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my copy of Terrifier 3 from Walmart too.
So Walmart's keeping, and Amazon, and then you got some of the third-party places that I order my movies from.
But nothing will change being able to walk into a store and grabbing a movie and walking out with it.
Well,
that's
we're
my
lucky in
thing.
the Dallas Fort Worth area. We got a place called Movie Trading Company, and they're surviving by selling Funko Pops and books, and they become more of a. They're actually starting to change the name to the I think Vintage Trading Company. They took the movie out of it, but they still.
And like all the video game characters and
Yeah.
all kind of and all that merch. And
So they've they're at least here. I don't think Movie Trading Company will ever go away. They may change their name, but new release day, you can go there and you can buy it straight from the shelf. So
Well,
we're
see,
lucky in this
that's
area
awesome.
for that.
Because
And there's
I'm like the guys in Spaceballs when they're combing the desert and they look up and they say, "We ain't found shit." that's what it's like for me here in West Virginia.
Well,
I ain't
that's
found
what-
shit.
that's one thing about living in an area as big as the Metroplex. There's
Yep.
7 million people. We got a lot of
Shit, there's
stores you
more
ain't
than
got
that.
other
There's like
places.
12 now.
I
Y'all probably
don't
got
know,
more
Brett.
people in your county than I do in my state. So
I'm sure we do.
What
I'm
Tarrant
sure we
County
do.
has what 3 million?
Probably. Dallas
Damn.
County has, well, now with the rural, what used to be the country now is all turning into, big population centers around here. And
You know
there's
what I call
plenty of
that?
space. This
Out.
is just going to keep growing because there's room everywhere.
Because I think Dallas County's got 4 million, Tarrant County's got 3 or 3.5 million, and then the outlying
Yeah, the
areas, there's like
outliners, I
another
don't know what they
4
got.
million.
But
Yeah.
that's one plus about all the population. We still got stores. We still got Barnes and Nobles here, which a lot of places they've closed down. Barnes and Noble's got a lot of cool stuff too these days.
we do have a place called Books a Million which is kind of like a Barnes and Noble.
It is. There's
type
one at
place.
one of our the Grapevine mall we got here. They've got a Books a Million, and it's sort of become, they do sell a lot of the other things,
They do.
toys and
Yeah.
I mean,
I still go get records there, and I get a lot of comic book stuff and my magazines. I like to go get a physical magazine, like when I go buy like my I just lost the name of it, but Metal Hammer. I like to go buy Metal Hammer from there, which this is one of the only places you can buy it in physical form unless you order it because
Right,
it's a
yeah.
UK release, and I still like to go get it. And
Greg, I didn't know you knew how to read.
yeah, I prefer to watch things or have pop-up books, but
pictures.
but
Yeah.
occasionally I like to look at the pictures. I that's why I looked at Playboy for so many years because they have pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Well,
wasn't.
me
for the
and
art.
Carl
That's
from
why.
the 80s, they had all kinds of great metal magazines back then.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, and I
yeah.
wish I would have kept all of them, but
I know, man.
I've got a shit ton of them. But it seems like my dumbass kept a lot of them from the later day than some of the older ones. But back then, I was tearing out the pictures and hanging them on the wall too.
Exactly.
I've still got a bunch of.
Every release came with a picture, a centerfold picture.
Yeah,
We had different ideas of centerfolds.
well, mine was probably Slayer. I had Slayer on the wall.
I like the Slayer.
I'm about to say Slayer. I barely know her.
But I've got I need to frame some of that crap and just start selling it, or so. I need to start my own store and get rid of all my shit. I've got too much crap.
Well, like if
Carl's
you got old Cream
vintage shit.
magazines from the 80s, dude, I bet them fucking things are worth big bucks.
Might be.
Rip magazine, remember Rip magazine?
Oh yeah, I had the first episode of Rip magazine.
I don't
I
think
had
that's
a
how
t-
that
I had a
works.
T-shirt, man. You
I did too.
you got the subscription and you got the Rip T-shirt.
Rip
never-
came a little later too in the magazine. I remember Metal Edge. They were more of the glam rock magazine.
I
Rip
remember
was
Metal
more
Edge.
of the kind of the thrashier, magazine.
I don't
So
even
every
know that
heavy
one.
metal genre seemed to have their own magazine in
Rip
the
was
80s.
based out of California, out of Long Beach. They
Yeah,
were like,
Ron Friend was the publisher. How I remember that, I don't know, but I do.
I don't know that one.
and he was like in with KNAC out there in LA and all that.
That's cool.
They pushed a lot of the harder bands Rip did.
Yeah.
Whereas
Well, that-
Metal Edge was more, the LA Guns and bands like that.
Cream magazine was pretty heavy too.
Yeah.
They did like your Maiden and Priest and stuff like that.
Are you saying Cream?
Cream. Yeah.
Cream.
Like
Okay.
ice cream. That was another. And what else? Yeah.
That
there
does
was-
not sound like a metal magazine.
It was,
FYI.
Cream
it
actually
was a-
came from the 70s. It was around before.
Yep.
Because I
Yeah,
remember
that
they
sounds more like a magazine that Greg was hiding under his mattress.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did
Probably
like the
was.
old rain that used to like have the old rainbows and deep purples.
Yeah,
shit like
yeah.
that in
I
there.
remember Kiss had a lot of. They were a big in the old Cream magazine.
I mean that.
So
that
it was
sounds
an
awesome.
older one.
That sounds
Well,
awesome, but
I'm
the
trying to
name
think
is
of
terrible.
some of the other ones, but I know Metal Edge, Cream, Rip.
I remember Metal Edge. Metal Edge did a lot with actual publications too, though.
They did.
They
They
didn't do
did.
just. They were more of a media outlet than they were of a magazine.
There was
They
a
were-
lady that was the publisher. Her name was Jerry something. Really cool. She was really cool. Unfortunately, she passed away, years ago. But she sort of did make that into more of a media company than just doing the magazine.
Yeah, they were more of like the Fangoria of metal magazines. So
Wasn't
think
Metal
they-
Edge a record label too?
No,
Wasn't.
not to my knowledge.
I don't think so.
I know Metal Edge spun off and did a heavy music magazine as well for a while. I can't remember the name of it. I think it was Metal Massacre. So yeah, they did a lot of good stuff.
Pretty sure there's a horror movie called Heavy Metal Massacre.
Hit Parader, that was the other one.
Yeah, Hit Parader. Yeah.
I think that came from the 50s. I think they used to cover all the doo-wop bands in the 50s, and it
Well, it was
survived
like
all
big
the
for
way.
like your Def Leppard, your Wingers, your Brittany Foxes.
They went down the rabbit hole in the 90s though with new metal.
They did.
Hard.
Hit Parader covered whatever was popular at the
Yeah.
time.
Yep.
They
If
went
it was glam
hard
rock,
in the new metal.
they pushed the glam rock. If it was new metal, they pushed that. They pushed grunge. I remember when Hit Parader went from having Dokken on there to
Nirvana,
Nirvana. Yeah. So they stayed
Soundgarden.
relevant.
Yeah.
You can't fault them for that. I mean, you
No.
got to, if you're going to keep publishing, you know, from the 50s, 60s on, you got to stay up. And they did. But some of them magazines, I remember talking about Axl Rose. He used to accuse them of like faking interviews and faking news and stuff. And he was talking a bunch of shit about him. And he's probably right, I'm sure, in many cases, that they put out what we would call now fake news. You know,
Puff
but back then
pieces.
Fake news.
we had no news. You know, you didn't find out anything until you read it in a magazine. There was no other way of doing it.
Yeah, there was no.
Well,
internet.
you also couldn't verify anything either.
You
You just
couldn't
kind of
verify.
believed what you read.
No. Fact check that motherfucker.
Yeah, there was no fact checking back then.
Well, I remember Hit Parader.
You read it, it must be fucking true.
Hit Parader,
Right.
Hit Parader pushed the whole Don Dokken and George Lynch feud real big in the day, and you know that was like a soap opera reading all that stuff. So every month
Yeah.
you'd get, well, you know, they're fighting again, and
And
you know,
Motley Crue, oh god, they were always fucking on the cover.
I hate Motley Crue so much.
Wait, what were they doing on the cover?
They were always fucking on the cover.
they were
I mean-
fucking the cover. What?
Yep. they were
Tommy?
fucking-
Have you seen Tommy's penis?
Yeah,
I mean,
Brett, there you
personally,
go.
no.
I'd
he
be
was-
throwing.
He was tearing them up.
You've never seen the Pam and Tommy tape roll.
I have
lie.
not.
You
I
lie.
swear I haven't. I mean, I know the stories of it. And
There's a reason
He
why that
steered
guy's
the
got.
boat with his wiener.
He's got all the hepatitises for a reason.
Did
all
did
that
that thing
hepatitis.
get its own centerfold or what?
It took 3 pages.
Yeah, probably did.
Not even zoomed in. It was just like,
Life size.
yeah. You know, they said
Oh, fuck me.
Milton Burrow used to just pull out enough to win in those competitions. That's
Tommy had everybody beat, I think.
that guy was.
Oh shit.
He was, you know, Desert Storm needed him to throw torpedoes.
A Scud
I
missile
still-
launcher.
I still
Yeah.
think it's funny, you know, when they fired Vince Neil and hired John Corabi. Now in 2025, that band Dead Daisies that John Corabi's in plays these big fucking arenas and shit, and Motley Crue just barely hanging on. I find that so hilarious. It's
I
just no Mick Mars. You know, it's just a joke. It's a total fucking joke.
I've
Nothing
never
but a
liked
money
them.
grab, dude.
And I don't think it's working. I don't know anybody who wants to see those idiots.
I know I don't.
Even
Well,
everybody I know that was a
touring.
Motley
The
Crue fan.
last couple of tours they've done, they've been like opening for Def Leppard. I think.
It's the only way they're getting a crowd.
Well,
Yeah, that's
Def
the only
Leppard,
way
I
they're
would
getting a
totally
crowd
go
because
see.
all them hot milfs want to go see Def Leppard.
I would totally go see Def Leppard still, but I saw Poison back in March and they were dog shit.
Oh my god!
I've seen Motley Crue a
Poison was
couple
dog
times. They were
shit in their
dog shit.
prime. Live,
Like-
they were always dog shit.
Damn, tell me how you really feel.
I'm just saying, Bret Michaels is one of the worst performers in the history of music.
He's dropping facts, man.
That is true. And
He's-
I
spitting
was,
lines.
I was there when glam rock hit, and I can tell you who was good and who the hell wasn't, and it sure wasn't Poison.
No,
Spitting lines, bro.
they were posers.
Well, they weren't good. They were not a good live band. I remember seeing them opening for
Now
David
Ricky
Lee Roth.
Rocket's an awesome fucking drummer, man. If he went and did something
Have
on his own,
Have I ever told my Ricky Rocket story?
no.
Okay, there was this guy. It was I think it was Bennigan's I used to go to. This is like 20 years ago, and they said your waiter's name is Vlad. I'm like, Vlad, cool. So here comes Vlad, and right away we're like, hey, kindred spirits. Well, he was in a drummer in like a goth rock or goth metal band, and one day we were talking. He's like, I'll tell you, but I won't tell anybody else. Ricky Rocket was what got me into drums. I'm like, you're fucking joking. He's like, dude's awesome, man. Ricky was a good drummer,
Yeah, he is. He's an awesome drummer.
but the rest of the band, no.
No. I wonder if his name was Vladislav. I knew a guy named
Every
Vladislav. Oh,
rose has its
Shut up, Brett.
thorn.
God,
Shut the
please
fuck
don't
up.
do that. It's almost like this is our future, Raul. You see this, Brett and Carr are a little older than us, and it's this is what I imagine us in 20 years, just yelling at each other like they do.
Hey, sign me up, man. I think I'm here for it.
But you're right. There's still bands like Def Leppard that I think are still pretty relevant.
Yep.
But
I wouldn't call them relevant.
They still get panties thrown on the stage. Come on.
they actually can draw a crowd, is what I mean by
Are they
relevant.
panties or are they depends?
That's what I you
Probably
beat me
depends.
to it. You beat
But
me
they
to
can
it.
still draw. They played the baseball stadiums and they draw
Damn
a
it.
crowd, is what I mean by relevant versus. But then we got the Dead Daisies with John Corabi. They draw a crowd. I think that's too cool.
Yeah,
See, if Motley Crue would have kept John Corabi all these years, I think they would have stayed to be a good band. But when they got that freaking Bumble Vince Neil back, it ruined everything.
That's what I hear when I
Is the Bumble.
So that brings me to another question. This isn't on my list of topics I sent out to you guys, but you said about drawing a big crowd. Do you think that's what's important for relevance? Because I watch a lot of shows and I go to shows
For
where
me,
there's like
no.
500 people, and those are some of my favorite shows. I like going to shows where there's 100,000 people too, but like the shows when there's like 500 people just kick ass. So what do you guys think as far as that goes? Like,
Well, it
Well,
depends
with
on
less
what you
people,
like.
it's more intimate.
okay,
Depends
less
on what you
people.
like. If let me think of a band. I can't even think of an example, but if it's somebody, well, I like Wasp. We'll throw Wasp out there. Me and Brett got screwed over on the Wasp show. I think 500 people going to a Wasp show is a big deal. You know,
okay.
But Wasp was never, this huge commercial band at any point of their careers. Whereas Def Leppard, sold like 20 million records, just the hysteria.
I camped out for 3 days in a parking lot for Def Leppard tickets.
So I think it depends on what you really like and what, as far as if it's relevant to you or not.
I think there's also like, who is it better for? I mean, for the crowd, certain members of the crowd, absolutely. I love a small venue. The intimacy, like the energy that flows in that, man, it's unbelievable. The big venues, yeah, they can get crazy and whatnot, but it's so easy to get lost in that, But for the artists, for the musicians on stage, I'm sure 9.5 times out of 10, they're going to say a big venue because that's what every musician dreams of. They dream of playing the big venue,
Yeah.
And in all of our cases, a lot of the bands, like you mentioned a lot of the new metal stuff, they were in the big arenas and now they've been regulated to the smaller arenas just because of the necessity. They can't sell the tickets. But does that make them, any less, But the problem is now they're charging more for the smaller venues than they do the bigger venues, which I'm getting to the point where who was it, Brett? We were going to go see and we just flat refused to pay it. It was KK Downing.
Yeah, well, a buddy of mine from work just went to go see Stephen Percy here at that Tannehills. It was $60.
I'm not going to pay $60
to see Steve Percy sing Rat songs.
Right.
Man, I was trying to justify $200 to go see Korn.
Well,
Yeah, that's a bit high.
It is
for Korn, Yeah,
What?
I think
sure.
Who's Korn even touring with?
Well,
I can't remember. It was last
when
year.
Iron Maiden just came to Fort Worth.
We
them
didn't
tickets,
go.
The cheapest ones was $150.
That is the first time I missed Iron Maiden since the 80s, I do believe.
Well,
I'm just not going to pay it anymore for that, So there's a case. Iron Maiden still plays arenas.
Yeah.
They charge $200-$300 and they sell out, but
we got good deals when we went and seen them on that when Ghost
Dallas?
opened up for them.
Yeah.
Remember we rode the train and that girl, her snatch stunk so bad on the way back, everybody's eyes were burning.
I do.
I was taking a drink, you dick.
But now
This chick
Brett's
was
totally
with 3
ruined
guys and they were sitting. The trains here that we ride down, they got like tables and shit you can sit at, and they were sitting at the table behind us,
Oh my
and
god.
we had these people that we didn't even know, and we're catching a buzz after it's after the concert, we're hyped up and shit, and this chick just stunk so bad, dude. Everybody's eyes was burning.
That's awful.
It was awful, dude. We couldn't
But
wait
that's
for
my
her to stop.
example to get Brett off of that. I'm not going to pay that much for a band I saw in their prime anymore.
No, I
When they're
agree.
not at their prime, I mean, Maiden is definitely. I mean, they're Nico McBrain is going to have to quit because of an illness. So
Well, my wife and her best friend are trying to go see Shinedown. That's their favorite band.
They are a good live show.
They're really
Yeah.
good live, and their first album was legit amazing, and the second album was pretty good. But then after that, they all started sounding the same to me, and I just couldn't get into it. But she absolutely loves them, and I said, travel. They're not coming around here, so she's gonna have to travel a couple hours to go see them. Blah blah blah. But it's like $100 for a Shinedown ticket for not even GA for like stands. And
everything's that now.
Really?
yeah. And I'm like, I just can't see paying $100 for a show that you've seen like 10 times. Like,
That is my problem.
is that worth it to you? And she's like, and then you have to travel and get a hotel or drive back, and it's gonna be like 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, is that what you want to do? And she's like, I don't know, man. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be $100. Like, I was expecting like $60.
Nobody charges that anymore. Like you said, Stephen Percy, the singer from Rat, was charging $60 freaking.
But see, I saw Machine Head with less than 500 people for $25.
Now that
So
would
did
be
I.
that is worth it right there.
Okay. And that was, I'll tell you the exact day. It was December 7th of 2023. I
That's
think.
a good. You
I
got
seen
a
them
good
back
deal
in
there.
2016, I think. The Bloodstone and Diamonds tour.
Yeah. That was
And it was just
late
them. They
teens.
played 3 fucking hours.
That's what this was. It was called the what they call it? The Electric Happy Hour, I think is what it was called.
Yeah, that's
But
a-
Machine
that-
Head
he-
would
he
be.
does-
I would
Rob
pay
Flynn does
$50
that.
for them.
He does videos of that. It's called the Heavy Metal Happy Hour or whatever.
Yeah. And so, but I saw them like it was probably about 400 people for $25. But then
In
I saw
3
them again
hours.
back in March. Yeah, for 3 hours.
That's
And then I saw
fucking
them again
cool.
back in March at a festival with, at that stage, was probably 10,000 people. I had more fun with 400 people than I did with 10,000 people. And they only
Exactly.
played for 40 minutes as opposed to 3 hours.
Yep.
But then I think of a band like Soulfly, who I got to
Oh
see
my
at the
God.
at the
I would
same
die to
show.
see Soulfly.
Oh, I saw them at the same show, and that with 10,000 people was absolute fucking hype, and I absolutely loved it. But I haven't seen them in any other capacity. So while I tend to lean towards going to smaller venues to see the bands like, I'm a hardcore guy at heart. I'm a punk guy. I'm a hardcore guy. So bands like Terror or Drain or Kublai Khan or Every Time I Die, who's my favorite band of all time, seeing them at a smaller venue is just the tits, right?
It is.
Absolute chaos incarnate. Not one person standing still. Everyone moves. No one stays safe. It's all a matter of chaos. And then you see them at a 10,000 person show, and you got, I'm 42 years old now. If I want to stand in the back at a hardcore show, I can. Okay. But when I get to a hardcore show, I still want to get in the thick of it. So with 10,000 people, it's a little harder to get in the thick of it because you have to wade through the people that are just standing there going,
I bet that was a big pit, man.
Well, and
Which-
plus, when you're
That Soulfly was
10,000,
great.
you're probably going to be more maybe an opening band. Whereas
Oh,
if you're playing a smaller venue, you're going to be the headliner, like Machine Head.
Exactly.
When you're a headliner, you can play 3 hours. When you're opening or on a festival, you can only play a shorter set.
yeah, and that's what happened with this show. It was a beautiful show. It was a great show. Five stages and all that kind of stuff in Daytona, Florida. It was awesome.
That would be cool.
But there were bands that I would have loved to have been on longer. And like, did I want to see? It was either Poison or Motley Crue. I don't know. We left. I think it was Poison, and they were the headliner, and like, it was dog shit. Limp Bizkit was the headliner one night. It was dog shit. Foo
Yeah.
Fighters killed it. They were awesome. But
Foo
like,
Fighters are always going to kill it. They're top dog.
but
But I'm telling you, a band like Poison sucked in their prime. They were never good live. I'm telling you, man.
Poison?
yeah,
I
they were-
saw him at the goddamn Texas Jam in 1987 at the
I
Cotton
wouldn't
Bowl.
spend my fucking money on Poison.
well, I
well,
didn't.
I
But
don't care how many good-looking women were there.
Boy, Brett
rather
really has something against
touch
Brett
myself.
Michaels.
Brett really don't like him.
Brett, yeah, I mean, I still say I like the very first Poison album. It was a pretty cool album. After that, they sucked, but live they didn't have it.
I'd say between Poison and Motley Crue, I'd say all the hair bands. You remember back in the day that they used to do like the hair bands, most metal ballads and all that kind of shit. They like scroll the names across the screen. You buy like 2 CDs and get 17 free and one of those type of things. Well, I don't think that I could make a whole mix CD.
It's because of your age.
I'm sure it is. But
It is.
The thing is though,
If
I
you'd have lived in the
love,
80s, like it would have been a whole different thing. Because I feel like we said before, the grunge bands, me and Brett detest everything about them, and
Well,
it's because of our age.
I'm not a big grunge guy either. I'm more of a
No, I know
thrash
you're
metal
not,
guy.
but you know,
I was a punk kid and a thrash metal kid. So like I think of bands like Creator's not really thrash, but
yeah, they're thrashing enough.
thrashy. But I think of bands like Creator and Exodus and Metallica and Slayer and those kind of bands. And then when you get into the 90s, you get into bands like, Machine Head and Soulfly, Sepultura, those kind of bands. And then I'm like, I was more that range.
Is there anybody chatting, Carl?
There's
No.
not a soul on there.
Just
Not a
us
soul.
old guys bullshitting about metal now.
Yeah.
And their own.
A lot of the,
I could die.
a good example was Skid Row, the way they transformed from being just this general glam rock whatever band into putting out Slave to the Grind, which was pretty much a thrash album, and then taking Pantera on tour for their first national tour. So somebody now, obviously they've turned into a joke since they've had 50 lead singers, but there was some talent around. I'll tell you another band. Warrant put out an album after, Cherry Pie. Cherry Pie is why Janie Lane is dead. The dude literally drunk himself and drugged himself out because he didn't want to be known as the Cherry Pie guy. So seriously, he said that that they had their album done. It was more of a heavier album. They were really proud of it. And the record label said, no, y'all need 2 more songs. He said they went in and wrote Cherry Pie in like 5 minutes. Label put it out as the first single. And he said, here we go. He says, I'm for now known as the Cherry Pie guy.
I was laughing because I immediately thought of Jason Biggs as the apple pie guy.
Oh yeah.
I was like, that's why I started giggling.
You're right. Yeah, Jason Biggs is always going to be the guy that stuck his dick in a pie.
He's the pie fucker. Anyway, sorry.
Hey guys, I don't mean to cut you guys out, but I gotta go. It's my son's bedtime, and I gotta go tuck him in.
All righty.
All right, brother.
I don't know how much
Thanks
longer we're
for
gonna go
coming on,
anyway. Here.
Raul.
Yeah, it's good to have you.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks for having me on, and hopefully we get to hang out again sometime.
Yeah, we'll do it. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do it more. So we'll have you with us.
Awesome.
Love you, brother.
Love you.
Thanks,
have a good
man. Later.
I don't know how much longer we want to keep going anyway, because it's going to start being ramble fest here before long. I think anytime you go over an hour or so, these shows become ramble fest.
I said we'd give it 2.
I think 2's too long, Brett.
I think Greg had a couple more topics to cover.
I do, but I could always save them for next time. It's not that big a deal.
Let's do one more.
They're not prevalent. All right, well then you guys choose, and I'm going to make another drink while you guys choose between the 2. One is the effect of nostalgia on our ratings as critics, or Wes Craven in the 90s. Was the 1990s Wes Craven's best decade as a director?
Let's say Wes Craven, because that could be an hour-long discussion.
Yeah.
All right. Well then,
let's do nostalgia.
All right, give me 2 seconds. Let me make just 2 seconds. Make a drink. You guys start. I'll be right back.
All right. So it's Ayla's birthday, huh?
Yep. Well, here she is. Actually, she's eating something.
A mini steak.
Her birthday was 3 weeks ago, and she got sick.
Yeah, I remember that.
And started throwing up, and she missed her whole birthday thing. So we did it this weekend. We've had a blast.
Awesome. Well, how old is she this year? 12?
11, going on
11?
13.
11
She has
going
the
on
mind of a
16?
13-year-old,
Thumbs up.
and she's eating steak right now.
Steak.
Yeah, see, that's her birthday steak.
Oh, where'd you guys go?
Saltgrass.
Ooh, saltgrass.
Yeah,
I need
That's some good
Here,
stuff.
I was so confused because like there was 2 forks and we had salad. I was so confused.
How did you get your steak? Medium well?
Yeah.
yeah, it was a little bit of pink in it, so
All right, good girl. Good girls. Don't be like Carl and eat fucking leather shoes.
me and Jerry Polly, bless his soul.
Medium rare to medium.
I'm a medium guy.
So nostalgia and how it affects us.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So I was thinking about that the other day because
It
I heard
affects me completely.
I was some guys were talking about the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. Okay. And it was on Jay of the Dead's new horror movies. Our friends over at Jay of the Dead's new horror movies, and it was Ron Martin, Jason Piles, Doc Shock, Dave Becker, and I think Dave Z might have been on there. But they were talking about like these movies, and they were talking about how some people like Freddy, some people don't like Freddy, and then they were saying, well, what do you think the impact of your nostalgia comes into it? And I never really thought of that. Like, I'm a huge Freddy Krueger fan, like absolute massive Freddy Krueger fan. I own all the movies. I can quote a lot of his lines and stuff, but they absolutely changed as the years went on from a Nightmare on Elm Street all the way up through the remake. Is my nostalgia what keeps me going back to especially 4, 5, and 6 specifically? Because once you get past Dream Warriors to Dream Master, Dream Child, and Freddy's
Dead, a little hard.
It gets difficult, right? But I still watch them and I still love them. But is that a nostalgia thing? Because I watched them when I was like a teenager.
Because Freddy is not my favorite. The Nightmare series, I like the first and I like 3, but Jason and Michael would be more my nostalgia thing. So
are you like a part 8 Friday the 13th apologist?
I am more of a Halloween 6 apologist because that is one of my guilty pleasures is Halloween 6, and Brett will agree with me on that.
Yes, I will.
We love Halloween 6.
All right, well, there's a caveat to that.
Both cuts.
I was gonna say there's a caveat to that. Which cut?
But well, actually, I kind of like them both.
Yep, I do too.
And is it nostalgia? By far. And there's another movie, and Raul mentioned it, Satanic Rites of Dracula. Okay. I fucking love that stupid movie, and it's pure shit. It is a shit movie, but I will watch that movie over and over again because I think it's cool. Well, and it affects how I rate movies on here. Now, I will sometimes watch a movie and look at it and say, that ain't so good anymore.
Right.
But there's certain movies, the nostalgia gets me.
Like the pure nostalgia rating. Like I know Joel Robertson from the Retro Movie Geek podcast, he calls it cinematic nostalgia disorder. Okay.
Yeah.
I got it.
I have it hard for some of these movies because when I watch now, The Mummy's Hand is obviously from like the 40s, but I watched that when I was like 6. Okay. And I still love it. It's probably the worst mummy movie Universal ever put out.
Yeah.
But I still love it so much. And I just watched it like a month ago again. So like, why do I keep coming back to these? Is it a comfort thing? But then I think about movies like The Exorcist, which 100% is a nostalgia comfort thing for me. But it's also, to me, one of the greatest horror movies ever made.
It is.
So is it truly nostalgia that guides my ratings, or is it just something that pushes it just a little bit? Like maybe it only pushes it a point or two in a direction.
I think you're right.
I don't know.
The Phantasm movies are another one.
And that sucks about fucking
Reggie.
Yeah.
Reggie, man.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Phantasm 1 was the first horror movie I really ever saw. So, but are they the best movies? Probably not, but I watch them over and over again, and I just think but what do other people think? You know, does it affect me? Yeah, by far.
Yeah.
There are movies that I hated when I was younger that I've actually sort of liked now because I look at it from an older point of view and I understand it better. But
I
then
get that.
there's a lot of the Universal movies, you know, as a kid, I would say I thought they were a little cheesy when I was younger, but now The Wolfman is probably one of my top 3 favorite movies of all time.
Mhm.
So that's reverse nostalgia, I think.
Yeah. See, you're the opposite for me. I grew up with
I
so
did
much
too.
horror
I did
that
too, but I saw the newer movies before I actually saw some of the older movies, I think.
I did too. But the
So when
one
I
thing
saw
that
the
was
black and white movies, I was like, oh no, not this.
Well,
I
what's
get
newer
that.
to you, Carl, or older to you, Carl, or is newer to Greg because he's, you know,
Yeah,
Well,
but I'm just saying he's the same. I'm
yeah,
sure none of us grew up with the Universal movies, you know, as
no.
new releases is
regularly,
what
yes,
yes,
yeah,
that's what I'm getting at.
No, and that's the what. So what was weird is like we watched movie of all sorts. Like we went everything from Faces of Death, Cannibal Holocaust to the Universal Monsters, and Cannibal Holocaust was one of the first movies that ever affected me. Like I was way too young to watch it, and it affected me in the
Yeah.
sense of this is something different. But now I can watch it and not. I don't have those same feelings. Actually, I have a little bit of comfort watching Cannibal Holocaust because I watched it when I was too young.
Yeah.
Whereas the Universal monster movies were always like my friends. Like it was like
Yeah.
watching my friends.
that's the way I am with I Spit on Your Grave. That was
That was a hardcore movie in the day.
Last House on the Left too. That affected me too. That was
Yeah.
not really scary. It just is just fucked up.
It was
Right.
brutal.
That's the same thing with Cannibal Holocaust. It didn't affect me because it was scary. It was like this is fucked up. Like I should
Yep.
not be watching this as I thought I was probably 7 or 8 when I was watching it. Way too young. And it rocked me to the core. Now, granted, it's also sent me down a path of watching all sorts of other grossness and
Right. Yeah.
not being affected by it whatsoever, which was great because it was developmentally,
Same for me. I watched stuff, probably in my between 10 and 15 that I should never have watched, but it just, didn't really
right.
affect me. Especially like Faces of Death. I think that was if you watched
Faces of
that,
Death
you
is
would accomplish
stupid now if
something.
you watch it. It's
It is.
stupid as shit.
Yeah, but
But
when
at
it
the
came out in
time, we thought it was
78,
cool as shit, you
Yeah.
know.
it came out in 78 and fucking took the world by storm because people thought it was real. You know what I mean? Like they didn't understand that it was most of it was fake.
That damn Blair Witch movie people thought was real, when it came out, and they kept saying this ain't
Exactly.
real.
And I have nostalgia for that one too because I watched
I
that.
do too.
I watched that at the drive-in, and our drive-in was surrounded by woods.
Yeah.
For one thing. Okay, so I was at the drive-in, surrounded by woods, watching the Blair Witch Project. It was a totally cool atmosphere to watch it in. So when I watch it now, does it have that same effect
It
on
don't
me?
have the effect, no. But
No,
I've
but I
always
still
said
love it.
with Blair Witch, you either got to be a horror fan or a fan of art movies to enjoy
Yeah.
what the Blair Witch Project was, and most people don't get it.
No,
But
No.
I got it from both elements. I'm like, wow, this is genius that these people made this. Why couldn't that have been me? Me and my buddies could have made this movie.
No shit. We could have went out in the woods and been
I fucked
idiots.
I feel like I fucked the pooch. This should have been me. And then from the
Exactly.
element of a horror movie, it's like it feels real.
right.
But your
the
average
scary
person
element.
couldn't catch it. They thought either, oh, this is real. We're watching somebody die, or
And
then they found
it
out
had
it
a
was
good
fake.
story too, though.
It did.
Along with it.
That was the scary element too. It was the fact
It
that
was.
it felt real. Not
It did.
because the witch was scary, because you
Yeah.
don't see the witch.
You don't
It's
even
that
see a
what's
witch.
happening is scary. And when
And
I
then you
talked to
get-
Eduardo about that, that's one of the things that we talked about was the marketing side of it is what made it scary.
Exactly. And they made billions of dollars on it.
Right.
Well, the movie was genius, and it still is to me. And I will never talk bad about the Blair Witch.
And then
And
the
people
Heather,
that do, I
then the
get
Heather
pissed at
girl
'em.
ended up doing Steak and Shake commercials.
And again, is it
She's really nice,
nostalgia?
though.
I don't think so. I think it's just that movie was very unique and it's a genius movie. And if people don't get it, they don't get it. But I just don't think it's within their brain to understand a movie like that.
That second one sucked balls though.
Watch it again. When was the last time you watched the second one?
It's not a bad movie.
It's not bad. It's
It
really
is not a bad movie. I have a special
The
bond to
remake's
that
not
movie.
bad either.
Yeah.
Oh, they did a remake of the Blair Witch.
Yeah, like 2017-ish, I think.
Huh. I don't think I've seen it either.
Yeah, it's not bad. Eduardo has nothing to do with either one of
No, he didn't.
the sequels or remakes, but
Which was a mistake, I think.
well, and he had moved on to other things by
Yeah,
that
that's
point,
true. I
so-
don't know that he even wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, it's a self plug. Go back and listen to my episode where I talked to him about it.
I need
Uh,
to. I have no time to do any. I barely have time to do this show. That's why I listen to all the shows.
No one wants to listen to me talk. Trust me.
I'm about 2 years behind on some.
That
of
was a
these
good
shows.
episode, Greg.
Oh,
Sure.
thanks. Man, I appreciate you listening to it, Brett. And you didn't listen to it. It's fine.
I'm honest.
He spilled his fucking guts, man.
He talked a lot, man, and honestly, I need to message him again because I'd love to have him back on. Just talk a little bit. We didn't even get into much with Exists, which is the Bigfoot movie, and I would love to talk to him more about that. And we did talk. I still wish he would have left the alien movie called Probed because I think that was the best title for an alien abduction movie ever. But
The Kurtzman episode too. That was awesome, also. Dude.
yeah, yeah. Well, I could have talked to Kurtzman for hours. He's one of my idols in the industry. So, but
Well, guys, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here.
All right.
Y'all can keep talking.
Yeah, it's probably about time to cut her off here.
The reason why my back is killing me sitting here. I'm bent over tonight
I
for
drank
some
away
reason.
my back pain. My back was bad earlier.
I'm gonna
dude.
tell you why my back hurts because I've been leaned over all night trying to watch the chat room that nobody hardly ever chatted in, so it screwed my back up.
Hearst Haunter did finally chat. He said he was
and
here just listening, but
I gave up after a while of looking.
Well, that's
I
our
think.
that's our friend Mr. Donegan down in
Yeah.
yeah. Oh well.
Well,
Maybe next time we won't have the beginning difficulties. I think that kind of put a damper on it, but
Well, hopefully we got it all squared away
we'll get
now.
it on. We'll get on earlier next time, and then when we go live, we'll be ready.
There we go. And we got more topics to talk about just in
Yes.
case.
all right. Well, I guess we're done, guys. Thanks for watching. Whoever did watch.
Yeah.
All two of you.
If you want to watch it later, I guess you can watch it later. So,
Steve.
all right. I guess that's it, guys.